say this. My mama loved me, but my father disciplined me. And he didn't always do it in a perfect way, but it kept me off the streets and kept me from getting shot up by a police officer, right? Because what happens with boys,
Well, you're talking about
well, let me
neglect.
just say this is the reason why boys need a father in the house if they want to be safe 9 times out of 10 is because when boys get about 13 or 14, a lot of boys don't listen to their mothers anymore. Just because
Mhm.
their mothers, are nurturers and
Mhm.
will feed them, but the mothers are not other dudes. So
Mhm.
so men
Yeah.
men will get to the point where they're like, whatever, I ain't listening to you. I'm gonna go out to the street and find my male role models who might guide me down a
Some
pathway
do.
that
Yeah.
might lead me to war. War with the police, war in the military, war in the streets, right?
Mhm.
And I personally think that that father in the house is important because the father's the one who understands war.
Fathers are so important.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. And
And I personally think that, and when the boy isn't exposed to that, when he's only got his mother and then he goes out in
mhm.
the streets, he can go out without understanding that these streets ain't playing with you. This
Mhm.
world ain't playing. The world ain't your mama. The world don't love you like your mama. That police officer, if you talk shit to him the way you talk crazy to other people in the house, he might put that billy club straight in your teeth and
Mhm.
and then drag you to jail. And I just personally think that black boys lose because they don't have those fathers right there in their faces to keep them straight and in line because as much, and I will just say this, and I'm going to finish this point. I'm going to be done with this, and I know you got something else you want to say because we don't agree on this, and I
What do
acknowledge
you
that.
mean we don't agree?
Well,
Really? You think abuse is okay? You
no,
think
listen,
neglecting a
listen. I'm
child
not
is
saying it's
okay?
no, it's not. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Okay.
But what's more
So
terrible?
how do
But
we
listen, listen,
disagree?
listen, 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 listen. You got to listen. What I'm saying is, my father was a police officer, a Vietnam veteran with PTSD, and a mean motherfucker. I mean, there were times where my father was hard on me, and he was harder than he should have been. He's apologized to me for that. But let me just say this: as hard as my father was to me, it wasn't black and white. It wasn't like he was always a bastard. There were many days where he was loving, and many days where he was protective, many days where he saved me from things. And I can tell you, as hard as it was to grow up in that house and with all that really tough discipline, it would have been 100 times harder to get 30 years in prison and be getting raped every day and beaten every day by prison guards and other inmates because I did not know how the world really worked. So I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm not saying that any of it's perfect. It wasn't. My father was a kid, the one who raised me. I'm not talking about my biological dad. He wasn't around. I didn't know this man. My dad that raised me was not a perfect man, but I'm very happy that he saved me, protected me from the streets. Because I saw friends who are dead now, who are in prison right now. I have a cousin who just got 10 years in prison. I would trade. I wouldn't trade my experience for 10 years in prison under any circumstances. And so April says I need to let you talk. So I'm gonna let you talk. But April, you need to let men talk too, April. So don't think that women are the only ones who have a voice in
Boys,
these
no
conversations.
one's stopping you from
Right, right, right,
talking,
right. No,
boys.
no, no. But I would no, no.
But
But I want to make that clear though. Like I think your voice is important, but there's a lot of men who don't feel heard, and I want to speak for that.